How to stop chasing women and make them choose you. Most men lose with women before the conversation even starts. Not because they are ugly, not because they are broke, not because they do not have the perfect pickup line. They lose because their energy says one thing before their mouth says anything. Please choose me. And once a woman feels that, the whole dynamic changes. You become the one proving. You become the one explaining. You become the one chasing. You become the one waiting for replies, overthinking every message, and wondering why she suddenly seems less interested. But here's the truth most men never learn. Women do not respond deeply to a man who is desperate to be accepted. They respond to a man who is grounded, a man who knows where he is going, a man who does not panic when she pulls back, a man who can lead without forcing, a man who can show interest without handing over his self-respect. And once you understand this shift, everything changes. You stop begging for attention. You stop trying to convince women to like you. You stop rewarding low effort. You stop acting like every woman you meet is your last chance. Because the man who has options, purpose, standards, and calm confidence does not need to chase. He attracts. In this video, we are going to break down the exact mindset and behavior shift that makes women naturally invest more in you. And make sure you watch until the end, because the last point is the mistake that destroys attraction faster than bad looks, bad texting, or even rejection. Let's get into it. 1. Stop asking for approval and start moving with direction. Here is where most men go wrong. They think being respectful means asking permission for everything. Can I take you out? Would you maybe want to hang out sometime? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? When are you free? Is it okay if I call you? Now, there is nothing wrong with being polite, but there is a big difference between being polite and sounding unsure of yourself. A woman can sense when a man is asking because he respects her time. And she can also sense when a man is asking because he is afraid of being rejected. Those two energies feel completely different. One feels confident, the other feels needy. And neediness is not attractive because it places pressure on her. It silently says, "My confidence depends on your response." That is a heavy burden to put on someone you barely know. A more confident man does not move like that. He does not beg for space in her schedule. He does not ask 10 vague questions hoping she will make the plan. He does not act like she is doing him a favor by spending time with him. He leads with direction. Instead of saying, "Do you maybe want to hang out sometime?" he says, "I'm checking out this new place on Friday, you should come." Instead of saying, "What do you want to do?" he says, "I know a quiet spot with good food, let's go there Thursday." Instead of saying, "When are you free?" he says, "I'm free Wednesday or Saturday, pick one." Do you hear the difference? The first version sounds like he is waiting to be chosen. The second version sounds like he has a life and is inviting her into it. That is a completely different frame. Women are not attracted to confusion. They are attracted to certainty. Not controlling behavior, not arrogance, not my way or nothing. Certainty. The kind that says, "I can make decisions. I know what I want. I respect your choice, but I am not afraid to lead. I am inviting you, not auditioning for you." That is powerful. Because when a man moves with direction, he gives a woman something to respond to. She can say yes. She can suggest another day. Or she can decline. And all three outcomes are useful. If she says yes, good. If she suggests another day, that means she is interested, but the timing does not work. If she declines without offering an alternative, that tells you everything you need to know. You do not need to chase. You do not need to send another paragraph. You do not need to ask, "Are you sure?" You simply move on. Because a man with self-respect does not negotiate for someone's interest. This is the first major shift. Stop asking like you need approval. Start inviting like you already value your own time. That does not mean you become rude. It means you stop acting like access to her is the prize while access to you is free. Because here is the brutal truth. If you treat your time like it has no value, she probably will too. 2. Stop trying to impress her with logic. Most men try to win women over like they are applying for a job. They start listing qualifications. I have a good job. I'm a nice guy. I'm serious. I don't play games. I'll treat you better than those other men. I'm different. I actually respect women. Now, all of that may be true, but attraction is not built like a resume. A woman may respect your qualities logically, but that does not mean she feels drawn to you emotionally. And this is where many decent men get frustrated. They say, I did everything right. I was respectful. I was available. I listened. I complimented her. Why did she still lose interest? Because attraction is not created only by being good on paper. Attraction is created by emotional experience. How does she feel around you? Does she feel curious? Does she feel safe? Does she feel feminine? Does she feel seen? Does she feel playful? Does she feel challenged in a healthy way? Does she feel like there is more to discover? Or does she feel like she is sitting through an interview with a man who is trying too hard to prove he deserves a chance? That difference matters. Most men ask boring questions. What do you do? Where are you from? What do you like to do for fun? How was your day? These questions are not bad. But if that is all you have, the conversation becomes predictable. And predictable conversations rarely create emotional pull. A more attractive man knows how to create feeling. He uses observation. He uses humor. He uses curiosity. He uses playful tension. Instead of saying, "What do you do for fun?" he might say, "You look like you either have very peaceful weekends or you secretly cause chaos. I have not decided yet." Instead of saying, "Where are you from?" he might say, "You have the energy of someone who moved somewhere once and immediately acted like she owned the city." Instead of saying, "Do you cook?" he might say, "I feel like you are either amazing in the kitchen or an absolute danger to society. There is no middle ground." Now she has something to respond to. She can laugh. She can defend herself. She can challenge you back. She can ask why you think that. That is how conversation becomes alive. The point is not to perform. The point is to stop making every interaction feel like a job interview. Women enjoy men who can create an emotional atmosphere. A man who can be serious when needed, but playful when the moment calls for it. A man who does not need to shower her with compliments every 5 seconds to show interest. A man who can make her laugh without becoming a clown. That balance is rare. And rare is attractive. So stop trying to convince her with logic alone. Yes, have your life together. Yes, have values. Yes, be respectful. But understand this. Logic may make her think you are a good option. Emotion makes her want to choose you. 3. Make your attention valuable. Here is a truth many men hate hearing. Attention loses value when it is too easy to get. If a woman can ignore you and still receive your full energy, your energy becomes cheap. If she can reply after 2 days and you respond in 2 seconds like nothing happened, your attention becomes predictable. If she can cancel plans without effort and you immediately offer 3 new dates, your time becomes disposable. And once your time feels disposable, attraction starts to weaken. This does not mean you should play childish games. It does not mean you should punish her. It does not mean you should intentionally make her insecure. It means your attention should match her investment. That is the key. If she is warm, engaged, respectful, and consistent, give her good energy. If she makes effort, reward that effort. If she communicates clearly, respond clearly. If she shows interest, show interest back. But if she becomes cold, inconsistent, dismissive, or low effort, do not increase your effort to compensate. That is where men lose power. A lot of men feel a woman pulling away, and instead of staying grounded, they panic. They text more. They compliment more. They explain more. They try harder. They send longer messages. They start acting like salesmen trying to close a deal. And the more they try, the more she pulls away. Why? Because panic is not attractive. Desperation does not create desire. When someone gives you less and you give them more, you train them to undervalue you. You are teaching them, "You do not need to treat me well to keep my attention." That is a dangerous lesson. A confident man does the opposite. He mirrors investment. If she is consistent, he is consistent. If she is playful, he is playful. If she makes effort, he gives effort. But if she starts acting unavailable, he does not chase her into the distance. He pulls his energy back and returns to his life. No drama, no emotional speech, no angry message, no, I guess you don't care about me. Just calm distance. Because a man who respects himself does not fight for a place where he is being tolerated. He makes room for people who actually want to be there. This is what makes your attention valuable, not arrogance, standards. The difference is important. Arrogance says, you should be grateful I talk to you. Standards say, I give my best energy where it is respected. And women can feel that. A woman knows when a man is giving attention because he chooses to, and she knows when a man is giving attention because he is afraid of losing her. One feels strong, the other feels weak. So ask yourself honestly, are you giving attention because she has earned it? Or are you giving attention because you are afraid she will leave? That answer will tell you a lot. 4. Create investment without demanding it. Most men ask for too much too directly, too early. They say, call me, send me a picture, come see me, cook for me, prove you like me. Why don't you text me first? And even when the request itself is not terrible, the energy behind it can feel needy. It feels like taking. A better approach is to create moments where she naturally wants to invest. There is a difference between demanding effort and inspiring effort. Demanding effort sounds like pressure. Inspiring effort feels like play. For example, instead of saying, you never text me first, you can say, I'm starting to think you enjoy being chased. Dangerous habit. That opens a playful door. Instead of saying, you should call me, you can say, you have the kind of voice that probably sounds better on a call than over text. That gives her an invitation without begging. Instead of saying, you should plan something for once, you can say, I've planned the last one. I'm curious what your version of a good evening looks like. That communicates a standard without sounding bitter. See the difference? You are not pleading. You are not demanding. You are giving her a chance to step forward. And this is important because a woman becomes more emotionally invested in what she participates in. If you do everything, plan everything, carry every conversation, start every text, and create every moment, she becomes a passenger. And passengers do not feel responsible for the journey. You want her participating. You want her choosing. You want her contributing. Not because you are trying to manipulate her, but because mutual investment is what creates real attraction. If only one person is carrying the connection, it is not attraction. It is labor. And too many men are emotionally employed by women who have not even hired them. They are working overtime for someone who is giving part-time effort. Stop doing that. Give space for her to invest. Let her text first sometimes. Let her suggest a plan. Let her show curiosity. Let her ask questions. Let her prove that she is not just receiving attention, but actually interested in knowing you. That is information, not rejection, information. It tells you she may enjoy your attention, but she may not value you enough to invest. And once you see that clearly, you stop wasting time. Because the goal is not to force a woman to give you what you want. The goal is to become the kind of man who can recognize when a woman genuinely wants to give. That is a completely different level of power. 5. Use scarcity the right way. Scarcity is powerful, but most men use it wrong. They think scarcity means ignoring her, acting cold, taking hours to reply on purpose, pretending to be busy, or creating anxiety so she chases. That is not confidence. That is insecurity with strategy. Real scarcity is not pretending to have a life. It is actually having one. That is the difference. A man with real scarcity is not available every second because his life has movement. He has work. He has purpose. He has friends. He has goals. He has training. He has responsibilities. He has things he is building. So when he gives time, it feels intentional. Not because he is playing hard to get, but because his time actually matters. This is what makes a woman respect your attention. If you are always free, always waiting, always ready, always online, always responding instantly, always adjusting your life around her, she may start feeling like your time has no weight. But when you have a life that does not revolve around her, your presence becomes more valuable. You are not saying, I am too busy for you. You are saying, I have a full life and I am choosing to make space for you. That is attractive. Because healthy women do not want to be worshipped by a man with nothing else going on. They want to be chosen by a man who has something to lose. That may sound harsh, but it is true. If your life is empty, your attention is easy. If your life is full, your attention has meaning. So do not fake scarcity. Build it. Go to the gym. Build your career. Improve your finances. Strengthen your mind. Spend time with quality people. Learn skills. Develop hobbies. Stay connected to your mission. When you do this, you naturally stop over-pursuing. You stop obsessing over one unread message. You stop checking your phone every 2 minutes. You stop treating one woman's mood like the stock market of your self-worth. And that alone makes you more attractive, because emotional independence is magnetic. A woman can feel when you want her, but she can also feel when you need her to validate your existence. Wanting her can be attractive. Needing her to feel valuable is not. So build a life that makes your attention scarce in a natural, healthy way. Not as a trick. As a standard. 6. Never negotiate for attraction. This is the mistake that destroys everything. Negotiating for attraction. It happens when a man tries to talk a woman into wanting him. He explains why he is a good guy. He reminds her how much effort he made. He asks why she is acting different. He sends paragraphs when she becomes distant. He tries to prove that she should give him a chance. He accepts friendship when he wants romance, hoping she will eventually change her mind. He keeps showing up, hoping consistency will turn into desire. But attraction does not work like a court case. You cannot argue someone into wanting you. And the more you try, the weaker your position becomes. Because when you negotiate for attraction, you are basically saying, I do not believe my presence is enough, so let me convince you. That is not powerful. A woman may feel sympathy for that. She may even feel guilt. But sympathy and guilt are not attraction. A woman who truly wants you will make space for you. She may be shy. She may be cautious. She may take time to trust. But she will not make you feel like you are begging for basic interest. That is the line. If you constantly feel like you are dragging the connection forward, stop. If you constantly feel confused, stop. If you constantly feel like you have to prove your worth, stop. If her energy keeps saying maybe, stop treating it like a hidden yes. A maybe is not enough for a man with standards. You do not need to hate her. You do not need to insult her. You do not need to post bitter quotes online. You simply withdraw your energy and move on. That is real power. Power is not forcing someone to choose you. Power is being able to walk away when they do not. And this is where many men fail. They think walking away means they lost. No, sometimes walking away is the win. Because every minute you spend chasing someone who is unsure about you is a minute you are unavailable to someone who would actually value you. Read that again in your mind. You are not just losing time, you are blocking better opportunities. So stop negotiating, stop auditioning, stop trying to be picked. Be interested but not desperate. Be warm but not weak. Be clear but not controlling. And if she cannot meet you with effort, let her go. 7. Replace pick-me energy with prize energy. Let's talk about something uncomfortable. Some men say they are being romantic when they are actually being desperate. They over-compliment, they over-text, they over-explain, they over-give, they over-apologize, they over-adjust. And underneath all of it is one silent message. Please see my value. That is pick-me energy, and women can smell it. Pick-me energy is not kindness. Kindness comes from strength. Pick-me energy comes from fear. A kind man gives because he chooses to. A pick-me man gives because he hopes it will make her stay. A kind man respects her. A pick-me man puts her on a pedestal. A kind man is emotionally available. A pick-me man is emotionally dependent. A kind man has standards. A pick-me man accepts anything because he is afraid of losing access. And this is why many men get confused. They say, but I was nice to her. Yes, but were you grounded? Were you confident? Were you honest about what you wanted? Did you have boundaries? Did you make her earn your attention too? Did you stop when her effort dropped? Or did you keep pouring more into someone who was giving less? Because being nice without self-respect does not create attraction. It creates convenience. You become the man she can call when she is bored. The man who listens to her problems with other men. The man who sends good morning texts while she is emotionally invested somewhere else. The man who is so sweet, but somehow never chosen. That is not because women hate nice men. That is lazy thinking. Women do not hate nice men. They are turned off by men who use niceness as a substitute for confidence. There is a difference. A confident man can be kind and still have boundaries. He can compliment her and still not worship her. He can be available sometimes and still have his own life. He can show interest and still walk away if the energy is not mutual. That is prize energy. Prize energy does not mean arrogance. It means you understand that your time, attention, loyalty, and presence have value. You are not trying to prove you are better than everyone. You are simply not acting like you are beneath anyone. That is the shift. And once you make that shift, women feel it. Your texting changes. Your tone changes. Your body language changes. Your decisions change. You stop asking, "How do I make her like me?" And you start asking, "Is she showing me she deserves access to me?" That question changes everything. 8. The abundance mindset that makes you unshakable. The final piece is abundance. And no, abundance does not mean dating 10 women at once or treating people like they are disposable. That is not abundance. That is immaturity. Real abundance means you know one woman's approval does not define your worth. If she likes you, great. If she does not, you are still good. If she replies, fine. If she does not, life continues. If she chooses you, beautiful. If she plays games, you leave. That mindset makes you dangerous in the best way, because you cannot be easily controlled by attention. Most men are starving for female validation. So when a woman gives them a little attention, they lose balance. One compliment and they are attached. One good conversation and they start imagining the future. One date and they start acting like she is already their woman. One slow reply and their whole mood collapses. That is not masculine. That is emotional dependence. A man with abundance stays centered. He enjoys attention, but he does not worship it. He likes women, but he does not need every woman to like him. He can be rejected without becoming bitter. He can be interested without becoming obsessed. He can walk away without needing revenge. That is strength. And ironically, this makes women feel safer around him. Because he is not trying to trap them. He is not trying to force connection. He is not making them responsible for his confidence. He is simply showing up as a man who knows himself. That is rare. And because it is rare, it stands out. So if you want to stop chasing, build abundance. Improve yourself until you are proud of the man you are becoming. Create options by becoming more valuable, more disciplined, more socially skilled, more emotionally controlled, and more purposeful. The more you build yourself, the less you cling. The less you cling, the more attractive you become. It is that simple. Not easy, but simple. If this video opened your eyes, hit the like button so more men can hear it. And comment, "I don't chase," if you are done begging for attention and ready to move differently. Subscribe for more videos on attraction, confidence, self-respect, and becoming the kind of man women naturally respect. In the next video, we are breaking down the 5 behaviors that instantly make a woman lose attraction, even if she liked you at first. You do not want to miss that one.